I stole medicine and drank alcohol from my parents, so might as well confess to the internet. I took a bottle from the cabinets and drank it. Over vacations I've drank multiple times, but I did it without my parents knowing. After a while I thought it was fine and I feel bad about it. I don't know why I constantly feel the need to drink, but I do. I felt that they would notice if I kept doing it, so instead of alcohol I started taking medicine from them in hope that I pass out and die, but unfortunately that hasn't happened yet. I felt the need to confess this because 1. What I'm doing is illegal and pretty bad, especially because of how old I am. 2. I feel very guilty from what I've done, and plus I have no one else to talk to, so confession done, I guess. I once purposely put my pet mouse close to an open flame. I feel terrible about this. When I was 9 I had 3 pet mice. During this time I was also into making candles and for some reason fire. One day I had this urge to dip one of my mice close to the flame of one of my candles. He did not catch on fire, but his whiskers did singe a bit and as a result curled up. It is said that serial killers often have a child history of harming animals. I'm horrified that I ever intentionally tried to harm an animal. I am so horrified that I did this as a child. It's crazy because I'm not even a violent person. I love animals and I don't consume animals. Vegetarian diet. Looking back, I'm surprised I didn't become a serial killer. To this day I have never told anyone about this because it's so horrible. I pushed my nanny to the ground and she never got back up again. I was around 7 years old when this incident happened. My nanny was always around. She'd fetch me to and from school, prepare my meals and help me go to sleep sometimes in the afternoon. One day in school she accompanied me to buy food, but I had no money and she had nothing extra with her too. As a kid, I was very grumpy, so I pushed her and she never got back up again. Got scared and called the school guard to help her to the infirmary. Her family said it was best to put her to their house so they can take care of her properly. After a few days she literally can't walk or even walk properly, and she spent months lying on her bed, which soon became her deathbed because of bed sores. That's what my mom and dad said. I'm not sure what caused her death and I have no idea if she had an illness before like an arthritis or something, but I know now that I had a part of her death, and realizing it now, I can't go back to sleep, so I needed to let this off my chest. I have never told this to anyone, so please go easy on me. As a kid I laughed at something I should have not, a handicapped person. When I was small I remember that I laughed at a person for having 3 fingers, not because of his misfortune but because he looked like a T-Rex. It was awful and I was only around 10 years old. I should not have done so and still feel guilty. My father shamed me horribly. I understand now the consequences and really think about it a lot. When I see a handicapped person I remember him and just feel guilty. Now as an adult I try to leave places where people are kinda handicapped, not because of them but because of me. Mind you, I am a grown adult. Wherever you are, I am sorry I laughed. I hope you got better. I hope no one ever laughs at it or something. God, I feel like crap. Broke into my old house through the rooftop window. When I was 12 or so I and my mom were kicked out of my childhood home by my stepdad and forced to live with a friend down the street. I was only given about 5 minutes to get all my stuff before being forced to leave. After about 3 weeks I decided I wanted my stuff back, so I broke into the garage, got out the ladder and climbed onto the roof and snuck into the upper bedroom window. I grabbed some stuff from my room, but as I was climbing off the roof to leave, my stepdad pulled into the driveway. I've never been so terrified in my entire life. I'm not sure if ever mentioned this to anyone or if he ever talked about it in the court battle that was forthcoming over my little brother, but I've never told anybody about this and it feels good to get it off my chest. One time I keyed a complete stranger's car because of anger. This was when I was 18. I was at the mall trying to buy shoes. I was sad and lonely 24/7. I saw this guy and his girlfriend pull up into the parking lot and get out of their car. They seemed to be about my age, maybe 16 to 17. His girlfriend was a pretty blonde with booty shorts and a crop top, and he was this tall good-looking dude. She was smiling at him and was holding his hand. I asked myself, what did they do to deserve that happiness in life while I rot in loneliness 24/7? It is not fair. I was very angry in my car alone. I waited until they both got to the entrance pretty far away. Then a couple minutes later I started keying his black Honda Accord everywhere and it left some pretty serious marks. It made me feel a lot better. NGL. I drove away right after. I've never told anyone. When I was 15 I robbed my high school concession stand. This story goes back many years. I was 15 and it was summertime. I was sitting on my front porch listening to music when someone I used to hang out with was walking down my street seemingly excited, so I asked what he was doing, and after I did he said, "The school is giving away free candy." Being an extremely naive adolescent, of course I believed him. It sounded too good to be true. Why would the high school ever do that? I thought. So I grab a backpack and walk down the road with him towards the other side of town where the school was located. When we arrive something doesn't seem right to me. There's nobody there at all. It's a ghost town. The big slide door for the front of the concession stand was down and the side door was locked, at least until we got closer. I noticed the lock on the slide door had been busted off, and as I noticed, the guy grabs the handle and pulls it up. He then dives over the counter inside the stand, and tells me to get in. Now being extremely stupid I follow. Now we're standing in pitch black because the door was closed. We eventually found a light after scrambling around, and what I seen were dozens of boxes of Reese's peanut butter cups, dozens of boxes of M&Ms, loads of beef jerky, drinks and other crap. So here's where I'm really not proud. We start ripping box after box of candy and completely stuffing my backpack completely full with everything we got our hands on. It weighed 60 lbs by the time we were done. I had a mile walk back home, and after I got back and counted how much candy I took, there were about 122 packs of Reese's, 100 packs of M&Ms and a couple drinks. I felt so horrible I immediately gave every single thing I took to my sister because I didn't want to eat any of it. I got extremely paranoid and guilt-ridden and I wanted to take it back, but I knew I would get caught if I did. The candy lasted for some good time. My sister would always give candy to her stone friends. This is my confession.